Hi, I'm Dr. Kimber. I'm so excited to be with you all today. So, we are going to dive into the topic of toxin-free living. Now, I want to be really transparent with you. This is one that I think in my healing journey, I struggled with totally getting on board with right away. I don't know if it was that it just seemed overwhelming or it seemed maybe I had to give up some things that I really, really liked. I'm not sure what it was, but it took me a little while to actually totally understand how toxins really do wreak havoc in your life. And so I'm here, very transparent with you today, gonna tell you what I see as a practitioner and what I experienced personally. And so there you have it. Personally, I kind of struggled to get on board with this one. But the more I learned, the more I knew I couldn't undo what I learned, the more I have a harder time now not diving into this and making those changes. So I'm going to introduce you to some of those things today. Plus, I really absolutely think that it is a root cause. It is a key factor in keeping you not feeling well. So be sure to write in the comments where you're joining me from. I love to see that. It's always fun to see where you are joining me on this noon hour and get an idea of where you are listening from. I also want to mention that you'll be able to download an ebook which will have a lot of this information that I'm going to go over with you in it and have it as a resource at your fingertips, which I always love to have as well. So let's dive in. So as a naturopathic doctor, I do a lot of different testing when necessary. And recently, I've had just an incredible uptick in a few different tests. First of all, thyroid testing, GI tract testing, and total tox testing, which includes like mycotoxins, environmental toxins, and heavy metals. And I've been seeing this pattern. I've been seeing the pattern of low hypothyroid numbers in conjunction with H. pylori, which has a connection anyhow. The thyroid and H. pylori are connected. Maybe we'll talk deeper into that sometime. But I'm seeing this on tests. So I see this hypothyroid connection along with this H. pylori in the GI tract, which is it's a bacteria overgrowth. And then I'm seeing on a which is the ringing in the ears, multiple autoimmune issues, brain fog, lack of energy, gut issues, all of those things combined. And when I look and see the amount of toxicity in their bodies, I cannot dismiss that the toxins are playing a key factor. They're contributing hugely to the health of these individuals. And so we talk about it, and we talk about eliminating those things in their bodies that are making them sick. And I'm going to talk about that today with you. This is part one. Next week, we're going to continue to talk about it because it's kind of a big topic. So you might not be feeling well because you have a lot of toxicities that are continuing to come into your body, and your body is burdened, and you are not able to get ahead. You might be using all the supplements, doing all the protocols, maybe eating the right food, But until you actually remove some of these different toxicities out of your body, you're really going to continue to struggle with just repetitive or cyclical episodes of not feeling well. John 10:10 in the Bible, John 10:10 says that the enemy seeks to kill, steal, and destroy. Here's what I believe. If the enemy cannot keep you from being saved, he's going to keep you from being used. Sick people cannot be used by God. You're too sick. You don't feel well. You're tired. You can't get off the couch. Whatever it is, it inhibits the ability for you to be used. And that's when the enemy wins. All right. So there are 4 ways that the enemy is going to take us down, that Satan is going to take us down. First, through the air that you breathe. Second, the food that you eat. Third, the water that you drink. And fourth, the things that you absorb through your skin. So those are the 4 different areas that we're going to dive into, and we're going to talk about a little bit more because they're important to clean up and to make sure that you're getting them right and you're doing your best. But it can be overwhelming. I started off by saying it's overwhelming, and it can be overwhelming. So I'm going to help you to take it piece by piece and help you to understand the things that are most important to change. And then the other things, the secondary things that as you get to them, consider them. It's not an overnight thing. It takes some time. So what is going on? Well, what we see in studies are showing us that the body is being burdened, and over we see this really steep incline in cases of diabetes, immune disorders, autism, thyroid cancers, melanoma of the skin, and liver and bile duct cancer. That is on an increase. That is on a steep increase, a steep rise. And we can't ignore that. There's something going on, right? 5 to 10% of cancers are genetic. Yes, you can have a genetic disposition, but that's attributing to only 5 to 10% of our cancers. 90 to 95% of them now are environment. 90 to 95% are attributed to the environment toxicities. Toxins play a big role in disease. They feed cancer, they interfere with glucose and cholesterol and metabolism, they induce insulin resistance and obesity, they're the cause of inflammation, oxidative stress, mitochondrial energy, altered thyroid impairment, impairing the appetite regulation. They are playing a huge factor. And we have to start listening. And this is where it started to get real for me. When I started to dive into the research and to the connection of it all, I'm like, whoa, I can't just ignore and go with my favorite shampoo anymore because I like the smell. It's really playing a factor in my health, right? We have to remember that. In 2023, 1 in 30 children were diagnosed with autism. Let me put it into comparison. In the year 2000, so 23 years ago, 1 in 150 children were diagnosed with autism. That is huge. 1 in 30, my friends. 1 in 30 is where we are at. On that trajectory, it's going to be 1 in 5 in the next 10 years. So what is happening? Why is that happening? Well, I believe, again, it's the incredible toxicities that are inundating our children. More and more, we're using pre-made foods that come in plastics, BPA. More and more, we're relying on foods pre-made for us, which are also have tons of preservatives in it. More and more, we are relying on foods or buying foods for our children that don't expire. Think of Little Debbie cakes. They don't really expire. They stay good forever. And yet they are the #1 treat for birthdays. We are seeing food coloring in, I see Perry Crochelle is watching and listening in central Minnesota. Great. And Ellie is joining us from Iowa. So I want to go back to food coloring a minute. Food coloring on sports teams. I see Gatorade being brought in. What color are they? Red Gatorade, blue Gatorade. What do you think that is? Those are food dyes. They are messing with our children's neurological capabilities. So just to paint a picture and to be completely transparent, when I started in my healing journey, I started with a few things that were kind of easy. It was easy for me to go from plastic to glass containers. That wasn't hard. Sam's Club made it even easier because they had a great kit that I could just purchase, this glassware kit, and replace all of my plastics. So that was super easy. It was fairly easy for me to switch out my shampoos and my conditioners because I kind of stumbled along a company that I loved, and they were clean and they worked great with my hair. That company has since actually closed. So it became a challenge again to find a really good shampoo and conditioner. But what I found is that I had to start somewhere, and this is where I want to take you today. I want to let you know that the very most important thing that you can do when it comes to environmental toxins is to avoid them as best as possible and to become very fixated on where they're at. Become a master label reader because you're going to find out a lot by reading labels. The key to detoxifying is to decrease the exposures of toxins in your daily life and to increase your body's capabilities for elimination. All right, so let's first talk about elimination and the importance of your body's ability to eliminate these toxins. So we first look at the liver. The liver is your body's master detoxifier. Every toxin enters into the liver in a fat-soluble stage, and then it's the liver's role to break that down into a water-soluble component so that it can actually be flushed out via your urine or your feces. All right? So what we want to do is we need to get more liver boosting foods into our diets. Those are foods like dark green veggies. They are cruciferous veggies like your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your Brussels sprouts. Those are all super good liver foods. We want garlic in our diet. Garlic is great for the liver. Onions are great for the liver. And then lots of antioxidant rich foods. Now, if you're a super picky eater, you might be just trying to tune out already. But I do want to encourage you, if that is you, I'm going to encourage you then to at least look at some supplements to support the liver. I don't love to have to rely on supplements, but if you're not going to be able to get it through those foods, you have to support your liver somehow. And I'll put some links in the comments just so you have some really good sources to go to. The second drainage funnel piece to helping you eliminate toxins is your lymphatic system. Now, the lymphatic system moves when you move. So this should be pretty easy for you. It means you have to get out and move your body. Take a walk. If you work, take a walk. Make lunchtime a time when you take a walk. If you are busy in front of a computer, set your timer to get up and just move around a little bit. Try to take a walk after you eat. 15 minutes, within that 15-minute time slot, and only a short, quick 15-minute walk does it. After you eat, it helps boost your metabolism, helps get your lymphatic system moving. Your lymphatic system moves when you move, like I mentioned, and it's the garbage system of your body. Your kidneys, you need to drink plenty of water. Your kidneys are also part of that detox system. Drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. We're going to talk more about water. Remember, that's one of those things that has the ability to be very toxic. So drinking the proper amount of kind of water is very important. Your skin, sweating. How many times do you sweat during the week? All right, not just a day, but during the week. Sweating is your body's way of detoxifying it. If you've got toxic chemicals, environmental toxins, heavy metals, or mold in your body, you know that, you've been told that, or you suspect that, you have to sweat. It's a key way to get that out. The colon is super important. That's a way that the body flushes the toxins out. You should be having 1 to 3 toilet-filling bowel movements a day. Maybe you need to increase fiber, the fiber that you're eating, right? You got to move that stuff out. If you're not pooping that often, you are toxic. Bottom line, you are toxic. Sleep. Got to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep. People, it seems that they tend to be like proud of the fact, I only got 5 hours of sleep last night. I don't need that much sleep. I only need about 4 hours of sleep. There's no way. That just totally goes against what the studies say your body is designed to need for detoxification. Here's the deal. If you're not sleeping 7 to 9 hours, your brain is not detoxifying. So your brain is inflamed. Now you may not feel it now in the ways that you feel it: headache, brain fog, fatigue, mental fatigue, can't remember things, all of that. You may not feel those things right now, but an inflamed brain leads to neurological issues like Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's later on in life. So sleep is super important. So let's talk about a few ways that you can also detox your home. All right, so these are some what I call low tox habits that you can practice every single day. They don't take a ton of time. First one, open your windows or your doors for 10 minutes a day. Now, for people who live where it's too cold or the weather is not conducive, it's too humid, that may be a little bit more difficult. But for the majority of people, trying to open your windows or your doors 10 minutes a day gets the air flowing, moves those stagnant toxins that your carpets and your furniture and all of that are giving off. It moves it out, and you need that. Replace your furnace filter. That's another one that's super easy to do. Toxins get trapped in the filter, and then it gets dirty, and your air can't flow through the filter. Not only that, but you're recycling toxins throughout your home. Take your shoes off at the door. Shoes track in more toxins than you'll imagine. I mean, the dirt, the dog poop, the pesticides, the heavy metals, all the other toxins, leave them at the door, right? Take your shoes off. That's super simple to do. Clean your produce. I saw recently a great way to clean your produce. You put your produce into the sink. You fill the sink with water, add a cup of vinegar, about a half a cup of baking soda, and it just makes this little concoction that's super easy to clean all of your fruits and vegetables with. And then all of a sudden, and then you rinse and you have clean fruits and veggies. So that's a super, you probably have those things in your home. The second thing that you can do, my favorite way, is I ozonate them. I have an ozonator. I can put a link in for you. I have an ozonator. And that I put this little gadget into my sink, turn it on, in 10 minutes, my fruits and veggies have all been cleaned through an ozonator. Ellie is asking, is opening windows still helpful even if I live near a soybean field? Great question. Not if they have sprayed recently. So that's a great question. Those of you that do live by areas of where they're using a lot of toxic chemicals, no, you want to keep your doors closed. But choose the days that they have not sprayed or they are not in the field, right? Those are the days that you can open your windows. Here's a really easy one. Another one that you may not think of, those little dust buster things to go around and clean your dust on the wad. Can't even think of the name right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Actually, you want to stay away from those because that just actually stirs up the dust in your home. What you actually want to use is you want to go back to the old-fashioned wet dusting. Then you actually trap the dust in your cloth. So wet dust over the microfiber cloths that so many people are using nowadays. Turn off your phone or at least turn it on airplane mode when you sleep at night. That's another really simple one. The EMFs that are generated through just having a cell phone near you when you sleep is feeding the toxicities in your body, but also feeding roundworms, which is a parasite, which can really wreak havoc in your body. Stop buying toxic scented candles. All right. Now, I love good smells. I am such a sucker for really, especially in the fall, I just love good smells. Cinnamon and clove and all of those. But it's best to diffuse them with actual essential oils as opposed to all of the toxicities that are in so many of the candles that you can get out there at Target and Walmart and at the dime store. The fact that they're giving off black soot should be a really good indicator that you don't want them burning in your home. I mentioned choosing glass storage containers over plastic storage containers. That's also really important. That plastic is leaching BPA, which is an endocrine disruptor. I'll go into that more next week. And it's super simple, and your food stays so much better when it's in glass containers. Using non-toxic cleaning products is another low-tox habit that you can practice. Vinegar is fantastic. Get it out. If you don't like the smell, add some essential oil. And there's a ton of low toxic cleaning agents that you can get at. I love Puracy. Puracy is just one of my favorites. It's low tox, it's clean. I don't have any qualms about using it on my counters or on my door handles where people are going to eat or touch off of. So we start with the free and the easy. Why? Because if things are easier, they are more likely to get done. If they're free, they're mostly free. I know you have to spend money on glass containers, but they never get, your plastic bags, you're using and throwing away. Your plastic containers, you recycle them a lot as well. So start with the things that are free and easy and make these little adjustments into your home, into your lifestyle, into the way that you're living your life. And these simple little things will actually cut down on the toxin bucket and cause it to lessen and your body to be able to heal more. That's it for today. Next week, tune in because we're going to answer the burning question of which toxin is the worst toxin and that I need to stay away from the most. And then I'll also go into some more things that you can do to clean up your life and give you some more tips on that. Once again, I do want to encourage you to download or purchase the Toxin-Free book that I have for you, so that you can have this in writing and reference it and really start making those simple little changes right off the bat. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great day and be blessed. Bye, everybody.